Okay, fuck me. Where do I begin with this? So, this movie is called Tremors, and I can only assume it was called that because of whatever the fuck they were coming down off when they wrote this shit. Because this movie is more fucked up than 90% of the other movies you're ever gonna see. I can tell you that. Because we've seen a movie just recently called Predator, where the trees decide to go ahead and start attacking all of the actors in the film. Well, this movie takes it one step further than that and says, oh, that's not nearly fucking ridiculous enough. Because this movie decides it's gonna have the whole fucking floor and ground attack people like all of the time, out of nowhere. And it's like, what kind of weird ass shit is this? I mean, yes, the ground does attack you. Sometimes, like in earthquakes or landslides, or when you've been drinking too much and it jumps up and punches you in the face. But this fucking movie makes it look like it sucks you into the fucking floor for no reason at all. Not even when you've had a single drop. Anyway, by going out and suspending your disbelief from the tallest fucking building you can find, this film still manages to reach atrocious new depths of absolute shite. And I suppose we'd better actually start the review or we'll be here all fucking day. So, this movie, Tremors, is shite. All of it is shite. It starts off right, with these two guys, and I don't like them. Either one of them. I don't like their haircuts, I don't like the car they're driving, and I don't like them because these guys seem to have the best job in the world, just driving big trucks around and putting up boundaries between people. But they just don't seem to appreciate it at all, and they just bitch and moan about how shit their life is and everything. So they piss off into the desert, and they find this chick making fun of Native Americans or whatever, and they're like, yeah, no, that ain't cool. So they fuck off into town. And then we meet the two best characters in this whole fucking film. And these two are portrayed as a pair of crackpot militant preppers or something. But they seem to be talking a lot of good sense to me. And after hearing how much this one guy loves his guns, well, he should be the president of the United fucking States in my opinion. But right off the bat, this film gets up to its weird shit. Because then we cut back over to the racist chick, and she's laying landmines to kill Native Americans or whatever, and the ground suddenly goes to attack her. Like, what the fuck? But she just drives off like, nah, I don't give a fuck, mate. And then the cowboy and Rusty decide they're gonna bounce out of town or whatever, but they find this guy who's been killed by electric or something, and you're like, what kind of weird fucking film is this? But then the movie goes, oh yeah, check this shit out. And someone gets sucked into the fucking ground. Just straight up, sucked into the ground. And Rusty and the cowboy find his face, and they don't like his hat at all. And so they piss off, screaming and shouting. But there's these two guys here that ain't fucking around at all. And they're like, oh yeah, the floor's attacking people, is it, and shit? So they just start attacking the floor back. But the ground only goes and nicks their fucking sword and runs off with it and shit. And then Rusty and the cowboy fuck off back to town. And look, it's a little kid from Jurassic Park. Check that shit out. Anyway, they find a great big snake attached to the back of their car. And they're like, yeah, that's cool and shit. And they start getting their photos taken with it. And like, they totally forget about the ground attacking them. So the ground goes, oh, okay then, and then it sucks a whole fucking car into the floor. Like, what the fucking hell is this movie? And the cowboy and Rusty find it and they freak out and shit. But things are about to get way fucking weirder. Because then, one of those giant snakes attacks the cowboy's horse. And then, and brace yourself for this shit, because it turns out that I can sum up this whole movie in 2 words. And those words are land whales. That's what this whole fucking movie seems to be about. And like, there's a couple of problems with that. And the first problem is that whales swim in the sea. And the second problem with that is you can't swim through the fucking land. It's the ground. It's the floor. It's solid. It's planet fucking Earth, for fuck's sake. You can't swim through it like it's foam or liquid or water or something. That's the exact difference between land and water. You can't swim through the one that's made of fucking rock. Anyway, then this whole movie basically becomes a game of the floor is lava. And if you don't know what that is, then you probably don't know any millennials, because they seem fucking obsessed with the game. Probably as a result of being raised with the fear that the earth was going to turn into a flaming ball of fire due to all the global warming or something. The stupid fucking snowflakes. So, Rusty and the cowboy team up with the racist chick. And look, I don't want to spend too much time on how fucking stupid these land whales are. But one of the characters, the scientist lady, she goes ahead and says maybe they predate the fossil record. And I gotta ask, what the fuck does that even mean? Did they evolve before the first form of prokaryotes or something? And if so, exactly what single cell life form gave birth to this huge fucking land whale? I mean, it don't make no fucking sense. Anyway, they go back to town, and one of the giant land whales attacks everyone, and everyone freaks out, and the cowboy gets so excited that he goes and does a diving tackle on the little Jurassic Park kid, and knocks her off her pogo stick, and the pogo stick stays standing up. Now look, I've knocked a bunch of little kids off pogo sticks, and the one thing I can tell you is, the pogo stick never stays standing up. It always falls over. But whatever. And then, because this is a 1980s movie, we have a totally needless and uncalled for shot of the lead actress in her underwear. And I've gotta say, God, how I miss the 1980s. So, then it's back to the floor is lava. Like I say, that's pretty much the whole fucking movie. And these fucking Muppets ain't got a clue what to do. So they turn to the two best characters in the whole fucking movie, the pair of fucking gun nuts, and they ask them for help. And because they're fucking gun nuts, what kind of help do you think they offer? That's right, you guessed it, they just shoot the fucking land whale in its face like a pair of fucking maniacs. And I gotta ask you, are these two the perfect American couple or what? Because if I had to be anyone in this fucking movie, then I'd be this guy. No fucking question. I like his hat, I like his moustache, and I like his obsessive love of guns. You know exactly where you stand with a man like that, and that's as far away as fucking possible. And keep ducking because he's probably got a scope. Anyway, then the moustache guy goes and has the best idea ever, and he decides to go ahead and make a bunch of homemade pipe bombs, which is like always a great idea any time of year. And everyone else decides they're all getting bored of sitting up on the roofs and shit, and so they all jump onto the one big digger and they fuck off out of town. And they pick up the moustache guy and his wife in their bag full of bombs, and they all head off into the desert for a fucking Burning Man party or something. I don't know, I wasn't listening really. But these fucking land whales ain't into counterculture at all. And they're like, nah mate, you ain't going fucking nowhere. And they try to fuck up the digger and shit, and then, out of fucking nowhere, for some unknown reason, the little Jurassic Park kid decides it's time to come out swinging, and she knocks it out of the fucking park with some of the best goddamn background acting you've ever seen in your life. Anyway, even though earlier in the movie they got stuck out on a fucking rock, so they know for sure that getting stuck out on a rock in the middle of fucking nowhere is the worst possible position to be in. They decide that the best place for them to be right now is stuck out on a fucking rock in the middle of nowhere. And I gotta say, well fucking done, team. Anyway, they all run out there together, like all of them, and they jump up on this rock, and the land whales are like all around them and shit, and they're all stuck on this rock, and they ain't got no fucking idea what to do at all, so they just blow the fucking land whales up, and that's the end of the movie. Like, why we couldn't have got to do that at the very fucking start and saved ourselves an hour and a half of this bullshit, I got no idea. But that's it. That's the movie. That's fucking Tremors. It's a fucking weird ass movie that doesn't seem to have any understanding of the basic laws of physics, and I never want to see the film again in my life, this stupid fucking movie.